Beloved brothers and sisters in Christ, may the grace and peace of the Lord be with you all. Today we will reflect on a theme that deeply touches every heart: forgiveness. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21, Peter asks Jesus how many times we should forgive. Jesus' answer is surprising: 70 times 7. This means that we must forgive always, without limits. Forgiveness is not just an isolated act, but a way of life that frees us and brings us closer to God. Many of us carry heavy burdens of hurt and resentment. These weights prevent us from living fully and experiencing the true freedom that God desires for us. Today I invite you to open yourselves to the transformative power of forgiveness. But pay attention. What you are about to hear may change your life forever. Prepare your heart, for the words that follow are not mine, but a direct message from God to you. Stay until the end, for there is a powerful revelation waiting for you. Let us now hear God's words speaking directly to our hearts in this powerful prayer. My beloved son, my precious daughter, listen attentively to the words I speak to your heart at this moment. I am the God of love and mercy, and I desire for you to experience the freedom that comes from forgiving and being forgiven. I know there are deep wounds in your heart, marks left by harsh words, unjust actions, and disappointments that seem impossible to overcome. I understand your pain, for I have been by your side in every difficult moment, feeling every tear you have shed. Now, I want to guide you on the path of healing and renewal, a path that will lead you to a peace you never imagined possible. I am here to help you release the past and embrace a future full of hope and possibilities. Trust in me and allow me to lead you on this journey of liberation and transformation. Remember, my son, my daughter, that forgiveness does not mean forgetting what happened or justifying wrong actions. Forgiveness is an act of self-love, a courageous decision not to let the past control your present and future. When you forgive, you free yourself from the chains of resentment and make room for my love to fill every corner of your heart. It is like opening the windows of a dark house and letting the fresh morning breeze in, bringing with it a new beginning. Trust in me and allow me to help you on this journey of liberation. I know it may seem scary at first, but I promise I will be with you every step of the way. My hand will always be extended to you, ready to offer support when you feel weak and encouragement when the path seems difficult. Together, we will turn your wounds into wisdom and your suffering into strength. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and think of the people who have hurt you. Visualize their faces. Remember the situations that caused pain. I know this may be difficult, but trust in me. Breathe deeply and imagine that you are placing each hurt in my hands. I am the just judge, and I promise to take care of each situation. You do not need to carry this weight any longer. Leave it with me and feel the lightness that comes with forgiveness. As you release the other, you also free yourself. It is like letting go of a balloon into the sky and watching it fly higher and higher, taking with it all the pains and resentments. Feel this freedom, my son, my daughter. Allow yourself to experience the peace that comes when you choose to forgive. Remember, forgiveness is not something you do for the other, but a gift you give to yourself. It is the key that opens the door to a full and abundant life, free from the shackles of the past. My beloved, I understand that forgiving can seem difficult, sometimes even impossible. There are wounds so deep they seem never to heal, pains so intense they seem part of who you are. But remember, with my power, all things are possible. I am here to strengthen you, to give you the courage needed to take this step. Trust in me and allow my love to heal the wounds in your heart. Forgiveness is a process, and I will be with you every step of the way. I do not expect you to forgive instantly, but I invite you to start the journey today. Take the first step, however small, and see how I will multiply your efforts. Like a seed planted in the ground, forgiveness in your heart will grow and flourish, bringing fruits of peace and joy you never imagined possible. Trust in my timing and my process. Healing will come, and with it, a complete renewal of your being. Reflect for a moment on the times when you yourself made mistakes and were forgiven. Remember the feeling of relief and gratitude you felt, the weight that was lifted from your shoulders, the freedom you experienced when released from guilt and shame. Just as you received forgiveness, I invite you to extend that same forgiveness to others. This is the essence of my love, to give and receive in a continuous cycle of grace and mercy. By forgiving, you become more like me, reflecting my character of unconditional love. You become a channel of my love in this world so in need of compassion and understanding. Each act of forgiveness is like a stone thrown into a lake, creating waves of love and healing that extend far beyond what you can see or imagine. Never underestimate the power of a heart that chooses to forgive. You can change the world, one person at a time, starting with yourself. Many times, my son, my daughter, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. You carry guilt, shame, and regret for past mistakes. Your nights are restless, filled with what-ifs and if-onlys. Listen to me carefully. I have already forgiven you. My forgiveness is complete and eternal. There is nothing you have done that is beyond the reach of my love and grace. Accept my forgiveness and allow yourself to start anew. You are my precious creation, and I love you unconditionally. Your mistakes do not define who you are. Your identity is in me, and I see you as perfect and complete. Allow yourself to see through my eyes. See the beauty, potential, and purpose I have placed in you. Free yourself from the chains of self-criticism and condemnation. You are worthy of love, forgiveness, and a new beginning. Today is the day to leave the past behind and embrace the glorious future I have prepared for you. Forgiveness is not a feeling, but a decision, a choice you make every day, sometimes every hour, every minute. There will be moments when painful memories resurface, when the hurt seems fresh again. In those moments, turn to me. Let my presence envelop you and renew your decision to forgive. Over time, you will see that the power of these memories diminishes and peace takes the place of pain. It is like tending a garden. You do not plant a seed and expect to see a tree the next day. Growth takes time, requires constant care, patience, and perseverance. Likewise, forgiveness is cultivated day by day. Each time you choose to forgive, you are watering the seeds of peace and love in your heart. Over time, these seeds will grow and flourish, turning the desert of pain into a garden of hope and renewal. Trust the process, my beloved. The end result will be more beautiful than you can imagine. By forgiving, you not only release the other, but also free yourself to receive all the blessings I have reserved for you. Forgiveness opens the doors to new relationships, new opportunities, and a new level of intimacy with me. Do not let resentment steal your future. Choose forgiveness and see how I will transform your life in ways you cannot even imagine. It is like opening a door that has been locked for a long time. Behind this door, there is a world of possibilities waiting for you. New beginnings, restored friendships, renewed dreams. All this becomes possible when you choose to forgive. Do not let fear stop you from turning that key. Take the step of faith and see how I will open paths where there were once only walls. Your act of forgiveness can be the catalyst for a complete transformation in your life and the lives of those around you. Remember that forgiveness is a reflection of my love for you. Just as I continually forgive you, I ask that you do the same with others. This does not mean that you should remain in abusive or harmful situations. Forgiveness can happen even from a distance, and sometimes it is necessary to establish healthy boundaries. Trust in my wisdom to guide you in each situation. Forgiveness is not synonymous with forced reconciliation or allowing others to continue to harm you. It is possible to forgive someone and still choose not to have them in your life. Forgiveness is about freeing your heart, not putting yourself in harmful situations. Ask me for wisdom and discernment. I will guide you in each decision, showing you how to balance forgiveness with self-care and healthy boundaries. Remember, you are valuable to me, and I want you to be safe and protected as you walk the path of forgiveness. My son, my daughter, as you practice forgiveness, you will discover a new freedom. Your relationships will become deeper and more authentic. You will experience a peace that surpasses all understanding. Your faith will grow, and you will become a channel of my love to others. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools I have placed in your hands. Use it wisely and see how it will transform your life. It is like learning a new skill. At first, it may seem difficult and awkward, but with practice it becomes more natural, until one day you realize it has become part of who you are. Forgiveness will become your automatic reflex, your natural response to offenses and disappointments. And when that happens, you will experience a freedom and joy you have never known before. You will become a beacon of hope in a world so in need of grace and compassion. I understand there are situations where forgiveness seems impossible. Wounds so deep they seem never to heal. Betrayals so painful that merely mentioning them makes your heart ache. In these moments, remember that my love is greater than any pain. Give me these wounds. Allow me to touch them with my healing love. Over time and with my help, you will find that even the deepest wounds can be healed through the power of forgiveness. I'm not asking you to do this alone. I am here by your side, ready to carry this burden with you. Together, we will untie the knots of the past, one by one. We will turn your scars into testimonies of healing and overcoming. Trust in me, my beloved. There is no wound so deep that my love cannot reach, no pain so intense that my grace cannot heal. Forgiveness is not a one-time event, but a lifestyle. It is a choice you make every day, in small and big situations. Each time you choose to forgive, you align more with my heart. You become an ambassador of my love in this world that so needs healing and reconciliation. Your life becomes a living testimony of the transformative power of forgiveness. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse on a rocky shore. Your light guides ships to a safe harbor amidst the storm. Similarly, your life of forgiveness becomes a light to those around you, showing them the way to freedom and peace. Your words and actions of forgiveness can be the catalyst for change in someone's life. Never underestimate the impact your choice to forgive can have on the world around you. My beloved, I want you to know that I am incredibly proud of you for taking this step towards forgiveness. I know it's not easy, but you are not alone on this journey. I am here, holding your hand, guiding each step. Trust in me. Lean on me in difficult times. My grace is sufficient for you, and my power is perfected in your weakness. When you feel weak, remember that it is in these moments that my strength manifests most powerfully in your life. Every time you choose to forgive, even when it seems impossible, you are taking a step of faith. And it is in this faith that you will grow, be strengthened, and become more like me. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, to admit your struggles. It is in this honesty that true healing and transformation are found. As you practice forgiveness, you will discover a new depth in our relationship. You will experience my presence in new and exciting ways. Forgiveness opens your heart to receive more of my love, more of my peace, more of my joy. It is a path of spiritual transformation and growth that will take you to places you never imagined. Picture yourself as a river, flowing freely without obstacles. Forgiveness removes the dams that block the flow of my love in your life. As you forgive, you become more receptive to my voice, more sensitive to my touch, more attuned to my heart. You will discover an intimacy with me that will transform every aspect of your life. Your faith will deepen, your trust will grow, and you will experience a spiritual freedom like never before. Always remember, forgiveness is not just something you do for others. It is a gift you give yourself. It is the key that unlocks the chains that bind you to the past. It is the path to the emotional and spiritual freedom that I desire for you. By forgiving, you align yourself with my will and open the doors to a future full of hope and possibilities. Picture yourself carrying a heavy backpack on a long journey. Every hurt, every resentment is like a stone in that backpack. Forgiveness is the act of removing those stones one by one. With each act of forgiveness, your burden becomes lighter, your steps more agile, your heart freer. You will discover a new energy, a new purpose, a new joy in living. Forgiveness not only releases the past, but also paves the way for a bright future full of possibilities. My son, my daughter, I want you to know that forgiveness does not diminish justice. I am a just God, and I promise to take care of all things in due time. Your role is to forgive and leave the rest to me. Trust that I will work all things for the good of those who love me, including you. Your act of forgiveness is an act of faith and trust in me and my ways. It is like letting go of the reins and allowing me to guide the horse. You don't need to control the outcome or ensure that justice is served. That is my responsibility. Your part is to release the other person and yourself through forgiveness. In doing so, you demonstrate a deep trust in my sovereignty and my love for you. Remember, my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Trust that I have a greater plan at work, even when you cannot see or understand it. As you walk this journey of forgiveness, remember to be patient with yourself. Forgiveness is a process and may take time. There will be days when it seems easier and others when it will be challenging. In every moment, know that I am with you, encouraging you, strengthening you, and guiding you. My love for you is constant and unwavering, no matter what happens. Picture yourself as a child learning to walk. There will be stumbles and falls, but I am always there to help you get up and try again. Every step towards forgiveness, no matter how small, is a victory. Celebrate these victories. Acknowledge the progress you are making. And in moments when you feel you have taken 2 steps back, remember that this is part of the process. The important thing is to keep moving forward, trusting in me every step of the way. My beloved, I want you to know that forgiveness has the power to break generational cycles of pain and hurt. By choosing to forgive, you not only set yourself free, but also pave the way for future generations to live in freedom. Think of your family, your children, those who will come after you. Your act of forgiveness today can change the course of many lives. It's like planting a tree whose fruits will nourish generations. You may not see all the results immediately, but trust that your choice to forgive is creating a legacy of love, healing, and reconciliation. Imagine the impact this will have on your family, your community, and even your nation. Never underestimate the power of a heart that chooses to forgive. You are making history, a story of redemption and restoration. Remember, my son, my daughter, that forgiveness is not synonymous with forgetting. You can forgive someone and still remember what happened. The difference is that the memory no longer has power over you. It's like looking at a scar. It reminds you of a past wound, but it no longer hurts to touch. Forgiveness transforms your wounds into wisdom, your struggles into strength, your tears into compassion for others. Use your experiences to help those going through similar situations. Your story of forgiveness may be exactly what someone needs to hear to find hope amidst their own pain. Don't be afraid to share your journey. Your vulnerability may be the key to someone else's liberation. As you practice forgiveness, you will notice changes not only in your heart, but also in your body and mind. Resentment and bitterness can have negative physical and mental effects. Forgiveness, on the other hand, brings holistic healing. You may experience better sleep, less anxiety, more energy, and an overall sense of well-being. It's like removing poison from your system. Forgiveness cleanses and purifies, allowing your body, mind, and spirit to function as they were designed to. Pay attention to these changes in your life. Celebrate the newfound lightness you feel, the peace that permeates your thoughts, the joy that springs from a liberated heart. These are tangible evidence of the transformative power of forgiveness in your life. My beloved, I want you to understand that forgiveness is not weakness, but incredible strength. It requires courage, determination, and strong character to forgive, especially when the offense was great. By forgiving, you are not letting the other person off the hook or minimizing what happened. You are choosing not to let someone else's actions control your life or determine your future. It's an act of personal power, a statement that you are taking control of your emotional life. You are choosing peace over revenge, love over hatred, freedom over bondage. This requires an inner strength that comes from me. Trust in that strength. Allow it to guide and sustain you on your journey of forgiveness. Forgiveness also has the power to transform your relationships. As you practice forgiveness, you become more compassionate, more understanding, more patient with others. You begin to see people through my eyes, recognizing that we are all imperfect and in need of grace. This doesn't mean you allow others to mistreat you, but rather that you approach conflicts and differences with an open heart and a willingness to understand. Your relationships will become deeper, more authentic, and more fulfilling. You will become a bridge builder, an agent of reconciliation in a world so divided. Imagine the impact this can have on your family, your workplace, your community. Forgiveness has the power to transform not only your life, but the world around you. My son, my daughter, as you continue on this journey of forgiveness, remember that each small act of forgiveness is a victory. Do not underestimate the power of forgiving the daily small offenses. It is in these seemingly insignificant moments that you develop the muscle of forgiveness. Every time you choose not to take offense, every time you respond with grace instead of resentment, you are strengthening your ability to forgive. It's like an athlete who trains daily. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes natural. Forgiveness becomes your automatic reflex, your instinctive response. And when the major offenses come, you will be prepared, strengthened by a lifetime of daily forgiveness practice. Also, remember that forgiveness is not a final destination, but a continuous journey. There will be moments when you think you have forgiven completely, only to discover that there are still remnants of hurt in your heart. Do not be discouraged when this happens. It's a normal part of the process. Turn to me in those moments. Allow me to touch those areas of your heart that are still wounded. Forgiveness is like peeling layers of an onion. Sometimes you need to deal with the same offense multiple times, forgiving at deeper levels each time. Trust the process. Each time you choose to forgive again, you are going deeper, getting closer to the complete freedom I have for you. My beloved, I want you to know that your act of forgiveness has an impact that goes beyond what you can see or imagine. When you forgive, you release a wave of grace that extends far beyond you and the person you are forgiving. It's like throwing a stone into a lake. The ripples spread, touching areas you may not even see. Your forgiveness can be the catalyst for healing in families, communities, and even nations. It can inspire others to forgive, creating a domino effect of grace and reconciliation. Never underestimate the power of a heart that chooses to forgive. You may be changing the course of history with your act of forgiveness. As you practice forgiveness, you will find that you are becoming more like me. My son, my daughter, you were created in my image, and forgiveness is an essential part of who I am. When you forgive, you reflect my character to the world. You become an ambassador of my love, a channel of my grace. People will see in you a glimpse of my heart. Your life will become a living testimony of the transformative power of forgiveness. And in doing so, you will be fulfilling the purpose for which I created you, to be my image in this world, showing people who I am through your words and actions. Remember, my beloved, forgiveness is not just something you do, but something you also receive. Just as you forgive others, allow yourself to fully receive my forgiveness. Often, it's easier to forgive others than to accept forgiveness for yourself, but I want you to experience the fullness of my forgiveness. There is nothing you have done that is beyond the reach of my grace. My forgiveness for you is complete, unconditional, and eternal. Accept it. Embrace it. Allow it to wash over you completely, removing all guilt, all shame, all fear. You are my beloved child, my precious daughter, completely forgiven and accepted. Live in the freedom of that forgiveness. My son, my daughter, as we come to the end of this prayer, I want you to know how proud I am of you. Taking the step towards forgiveness requires courage, and you have shown that courage today. Remember, forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. There will be challenges along the way, but I will be with you every step of the way. Trust in me, lean on me, and see how I will transform your life through the power of forgiveness. You are on the threshold of a new season of freedom, peace, and joy. Embrace it with all your heart. And now, my beloved, go in peace. Take with you the assurance of my love and my forgiveness. Be an agent of reconciliation in this world, so in need of grace. May your life be a living testimony of the transformative power of forgiveness. Always remember, you are loved, you are forgiven, you are mine. May the peace that surpasses all understanding guard your heart and mind as you walk in the freedom of forgiveness. Amen. My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, may the words of this prayer resonate in your hearts and inspire you to embrace the transformative power of forgiveness. Remember, the path of forgiveness is not always easy, but it is the path that leads us to true freedom and peace. If this message has touched your heart, I invite you to share it with others who may need these words of encouragement. Subscribe to our channel to receive more inspiring reflections like this one. Leave a comment sharing how this message has impacted you. Your experience could be exactly what someone needs to hear today. May the grace and peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with all of you. Until we meet again.